phonemes and other aspects of pronunciation. The nature of phonetics and phonology will be explained as the course progresses, but one or two basic ideas need to be introduced at this stage. In any language, we can identify a small number of regularly used sounds, vowels, and consonants that we call phonemes. For example, the vowels in the word pin and pen are different phonemes, and so are the consonants at the beginning of the word pet and bed. And because of the notoriously confusing nature of English spelling, it is particularly important to learn to think of English pronunciation in terms of phonemes rather than letters of the alphabet. After the phonemes of English have been introduced, the rest of the course goes on to look at larger units of speech such as the syllable and at aspects of speech such as stress. As an example of stress, consider the difference between the pronunciation of contract as a noun and contract as a verb. In the former, the stress is on the first syllable, while in the latter, it is on the second syllable. In this book, we often use special symbols to represent speech sound, and the symbols are always printed in the blue type. The first part of the course is mainly concerned with the identifying and describing the phonemes of English. Chapter 2 and 3 deal with vowels and Chapter 4 with some consonants. Chapter 5 look at the phonemes and at the use of symbols in a theoretical way.
1.4 Accent and Dialect. An accent is how one pronounces words, style of pronunciation. A dialect includes not just pronunciation but also one's general vocabulary and grammar. Language have different accents that pronounced by people who has different geographical place, different social class, different age, and different educational backgrounds. The word accents is often confused with dialect. Dialect to refer to a variety of a language which is different from others not just in pronunciation but also in such matter as vocabulary, grammar, and word order. Differences of accent, in other hand, are pronunciation differences only. The accent is the one that is most often recommended for foreign learners studying British English. Identified by the name received pronunciation are usually abbreviated to its initial RP, but this name is old-fashioned and misleading. The use of the word received to mean accepted or approved is nowadays very rare, and the word, if used in that sense, seems to imply that others' accents would not be acceptable or approved of. And now it's popular with BBC pronunciation because the accent used by most announcers and newsreaders on BBC and British independent television broadcasting channels. The pronunciation of English in North America is different from most accents found in Britain. There are exceptions to this. You can find accents in this part of Britain that sounds American and accents not American that sounds English. There are many different accents in England, but the range becomes very much wider if the accent of Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland are taken into account. The distinction that is most frequently made by the majority of English people is between Northern and Southern. There is no implication that other accents are inferior or less pleasant sounding because BBC is the accent that has usually been chosen by British teachers to teach foreign learners. It is the accent that has been most fully described. It has been used as the basis for textbooks and pronunciation dictionaries. A term which is widely found nowadays is estuary English. This the fact about estuary English is first not a new accent English. The term should be used with care. The idea originates from the social linguistic observation that some people in public life who would previously have been expected to speak with a BBC or RP accent now find it acceptable to speak with some characteristic of the accent of the London area. The estuary referred to is the Thames estuary, such as glottal stops, which would in earlier times have caused comment and disapproval.